Welcome back to SwitchCorner, my name is Alex and today it's finally here. We're taking a look at No More Heroes 3 on the Nintendo Switch, the long-awaited sequel, but can Suda51 deliver a game worthy of the series? Well, first of all, a shout out to Grasshopper Manufacture for sending me a review copy, and with that, hit subscribe if you love the Switch, as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and let's get started. So before we start this video, it's all going to be spoiler free. Now, story, Travis Touchdown is back opening the game. He's appeared to have fallen into what I'd call a relatively relaxed lifestyle, but naturally being, no more heroes, this period of relaxation, it's quickly interrupted when the evil Prince Fu invades Earth with a band of alien assassins. They want to play a game, challenge the world's best assassins, and Sylvia, your handler, I guess for those that may not know the series, calls you back into action, ready to go to war. You're going to be working your way up the assassin leaderboard of 10. Absolutely quality. I loved every moment of the story, from its tongue-in-cheek humour to breaking the fourth wall to the countless moments of small talk and references. So think Terminator, Takeshi Miike conversations, Akira, Netflix, and no doubt countless references that I did miss. It's a relatively simple story as always, but it's constantly just twisting and turning, and the delivery, you'll never know what to expect, as Suda51 as always lets you come in with expectations, especially in its delivery, and just completely shatters them. To give you an idea, in the background right now, just a few of the presentation styles you can expect to see. So gameplay on this, it most closely resembles the original No More Heroes, as not only do we have boss fights to face off against, but the open world makes its return. Now, to explore the city of Santa Destroyer and another 5 locations, you'll be on foot using your Akira style motorbike or the always welcome fast travel. The open world, and specifically the No More Heroes motel, is your home base. You can save your game there with the usual bathroom break. You can change your t-shirt, though I always stick to the Joy Division OG, even if some have it added benefits. You can play with your cat, who also happens to speak, known as Jean, and then you can access what I can only describe as almost your secret lair. The lair, it allows you to take part in tutorials. You can face off against previously beaten bosses for rewards. You can level up Travis from health to power to special moves, and you can manipulate your death glove, which we'll get to a little bit later in the video. In the open world though, the core concept is this: earn 2 types of currency. You have a dollar currency, and then we get WESN. Not sure how they're going for the pronunciation on that one, but the dollar, that's going to buy you entry to the next fight at an ATM in the world. The latter then, that's going to be used for character improvements alongside things like loot, which can sometimes be required, and it's dropped in battle. The main concern for me coming in was these open world moments may be dragging on a little bit too long. The first, it for sure could be a grind at times, but as delivery goes around the open world concept for the series, his second attempt here, it's by far his best, and there's a decent amount to do in it as well. It's got, wave-based fights. You can take part in some battles which are required pre the next assassin. These are called designated battles. You've got races, which were my personal favourite. You take down an opponent and the reward here is high. There's then things like litter picking, mining, mowing the lawn, unblocking toilets to reveal more of the map, and the list just goes on. There's even going to be collectible quests from Jean's kittens to playing cards that are scattered around the world. The locations are nice and varied though, and each will bring something just a little bit different in activities that you're always going to be excited to explore. Problems for the open world portion of this one, they are largely empty of pedestrian traffic. The bike is still a pain at points to control as you handbrake your way around this world, and crashes, they'll send you flying all over the place, but it's still a hell of an improvement over the original game. There's also a fair few invisible walls that you will encounter, and then the frame rate, 25 to 30 on bike on average, and maybe 25 to 35 on foot. Honestly though, it didn't matter, it was still a pleasure, and once you get into that combat, you're going to forget all about it. Also, don't be concerned for frame rate just yet. In combat, we do see a drastic improvement. That combat then, incredible. This is the best it's ever felt. It's been optimized to near perfection, honestly. It's about as fistful as it comes. It's constantly varied thanks to a huge amount of enemies that just demand something a little bit different from you. And then you'll find things like mini bosses along the way, as well as, of course, the 10 assassins. Most impressively, on the assassin front, it's the most out there yet for the series, and each feels completely different, embracing all-out combat to almost puzzles to even a small dash of first person. Controls wise, you have a block, light attack, heavy attack and dodge roll. If you time that dodge roll just right as well, the game will go into slow motion. This is backed up then by special moves that you will gradually unlock with progression. They're attached to the left trigger. My favourite was an ability to slow down time, and when you do manage to stun an enemy, you can full on throw them all over the place. We also see the slash wheel then as well. If you do well, the game rewards you with a spin. It can reward you with everything from, well, basically nothing to becoming invincible to going Mustang mode, which sends you into like hyperspeed. You can also throw anyone even if they're not stunned. It's just always exciting seeing it spin on screen. Another power up then, and a very impressive one, is the ability you can literally become a mech. Here you get rockets, you get a gun, a turret. It's absolutely badass. Sometimes this will be just for a moment, a split second in a fight. Sometimes it will actually be an entire mission. The Beam Katana then is just a badass piece of weaponry, honestly, but it does require recharging, often mid-battle. You can see that from the battery in the top right of the screen. We'll just say here you need to shake the Joy-Con or right stick to do this. If you're worried about difficulty then as well, expect multiple options as well as a wheel on death. It appears on screen. This spin, it might give you nothing, it may even go against you, but often it will help you out for that replay. Thought it was like a nice fun spin on the idea of death, like maybe it gives you double power. Like past entries as well, then you can play using a traditional setup or using motion controls, the latter being the recommended. The motion, it's things like charging, acting out on-screen prompts, a few other bits as well, but it's not one-to-one movement, which would honestly be totally exhausting. The only other noteworthy item in battle then, probably sushi. You can buy this often pre-battle or in the open world, and this adds buffers like extra strength or that all important heal. I also love the fact the Death Glove back at the lair that appears to be a Joy-Con on his wrist, it can shape Travis with both negatives and perks, like maybe you'll take minus 10 health for 10% more strength. It's kind of fun to shape Travis to your ability. The frame rate then in battle, a nice healthy jump to 50 to 55 on average. The action is so fast though, I didn't notice the fluctuation, and the design decision here, I think it's actually smart. If I had to guess, we're pushing the Switch hardware, and Suda51 made a sacrifice with the open world to deliver the best combat the series has ever seen, and yeah, I'll absolutely take it. There's also a day one patch coming with some frame rate optimization, though to what level it goes I cannot say. Complaints for combat, the camera gets a little haywire occasionally when you're jumping all over the screen, but the lock onto enemies, it normally helps with that, and then honestly it's part and parcel kind of you know, the third person world. Replayability then, and outside of the fights being incredible and you'll want to replay them, and also those multiple difficulty options, I love the fact in the base you can jump to previous bosses and select different difficulty options for reward, then finishing off things like activities and the collectathons. That is no small feat also. Then I'd say it's kind of like a movie. There's so much going on here that you'll miss references, so it's well worth going back just so you can kind of go and try and spot them. So visuals in the open world, first of all, some great variety in the locations, from Santa Destroy, more of kind of like a small town, to futuristic cityscapes to a desert-like area that was jarring at first, but I actually ended up appreciating it almost. It's got this kind of film grain effect. They just each have a unique vibe that breaks up what could have been, you know, a monotonous cycle of repetition. Then also constantly, you're going to be unlocking new areas with progression to explore. The nice locations though, they're not without their issues. Visually, they're rough around the edges, mostly empty of life, basic texture work, pop-in and pixelation. Boost on your motorbike though and you won't need to worry about it. Combat then is another story. Now naturally it has pixelation down just to, you know, the hardware restraints, but no pop-in and tons of detail. Also, it's got an almost cel-shaded vibe. It's kind of been adopted here. I really do like it. The characters look incredible, even if Travis's walk is a little bit unusual, but in battle he looks like a badass. The enemies have a huge amount going on, and then it's all backed up with this vivid colour palette that just makes it all pop. The cutscenes finally, and as I said in story, their delivery is another level as he almost explores other media within the game world. That was my favourite bit of all, honestly, just that delivery. Audio finally, and the voice acting top quality. We see a good portion of the cast return. Travis is as funny as ever, if you know, a little bit repetitive at times in battle, and then the sound effects are great from the weapons to the bike. I wish it had a little bit more in the way of like environmental work to maybe help out, you know, with the empty-ish worlds, but otherwise honestly good stuff. The real winner for audio though, the music. The soundtrack goes all over the place with genres, and it's used to add character to nearly every scene while matching each of the characters we encounter. Love the soundtrack, and I hope it finds its way to a physical release. So the final verdict in No More Heroes 3, it's absolutely not perfect. You know, rocky frame rate in the open world? Yes. The camera can go crazy at times, check. The world's empty, and the first time in it, that gap to rank 9, it is a little extended because you're kind of figuring things out. So yeah, that was the game's moment to grind. Then we get pop-in, low textures, and even honestly some side quests and moments that just don't quite work as well as intended, which I haven't talked to today just due to, you know, spoilers. That said though, this is Suda51, and I would be disappointed if I didn't see experimentation. And when you see experimentation, it's never, you know, always perfect. Here, in my eyes, for every 1 miss, there's 9 wins. Those 9 are more exciting and more creative than most developers would dare to be. The sheer creativity is just unmatched, and that's where Suda51 and Grasshopper have made their name. You'll rarely call one of their games boring, that is for sure. It's good though to have Travis back, and I think reviews are going to be all over the place on this one, honestly. But for me, it's an amazing 9 out of 10, and in my eyes, it's the best No More Heroes yet. Will you be adding this one to the library though? How do you feel about the design decision around the frame rate and the world to stabilise the entire game? Is this entry the one you wanted? You know, maybe alien invasion just isn't your thing. With that though, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch, as much as we will do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.